Hey, it's Rick here. So it's 5 November, and this post is basically a clarification of a post that I put, or a video I put last week. Talks about, maybe it was a week and a half ago, or something like that, about two Thessalonians, about a man shall not work, he shall not eat. And I put that out, and then I was talking to another Christian board, or different things about this, and there's some people understood what I was talking about. But there are many, oh, you're judgmental and this and that. There was nothing judgmental about that post or anything I've said. So I'm going to clarify, okay? We have a problem in today's Christianity. I don't care if it's Catholic, some people Catholic like me, or non-Catholic Christians like Baptist, non-denominational, Presbyterian, whatever. We have a problem with, in today's Christianity, a lot of people of just simply acknowledging the truth. We want to hear only what's nice. We always want to give the benefit of the doubt, and that's good. But you also have the other side. We have the Joel Osteen problem here. Everything's all nice and flowery. We don't understand that even within Christianity, there are rules and parameters that all of us have to do. Okay? And sometimes you have to look at reality. I have to do it, and everybody does. When I said that, it is Paul is saying, if a man does not want to work, he shall not eat. Not if he can't. Okay? There's a difference between not trying to do your best, and you can't because you have physical ailments, mental ailments, common sense. I didn't think I have to specify that. But I guess for some I do. This wasn't trying to judge people. But we have a growing number of men in this country who don't want to work. It's growing. Okay, stats show it. People in general don't want to work. Okay? That's not Christianity. That has to be addressed. You can't just sit there and, oh, it's no big deal. That has to be addressed. That's why we have a type, people want socialism. They don't want to work. That's a major problem, and that's against Christianity. It's not a judgment. That's a fact of what's happening. And most people don't like to talk about that, Paul, Thessalonians, because it bothers them. Okay? A lot of people, it bothers them. He was very blatant. You don't want to try. If you have the ability to try and you don't want to do it, you deserve nothing. It's very blatant. The caveat to that, people say, what would Christ do? A lot of people, what would Christ do? He said to help the poor. He did. Absolutely. And you should. But he didn't say to try to basically help the lazy. Okay? He didn't say that. Matter of fact, what Christ said, and I put it on a post, the parable of the talents in Matthew. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. At the end of all the 5 talents was basically what that's saying. You can it's a parable, so there's a lot of symbolism in the master of that. He had 3 servants and gave 5 talents, 2 talents, 1 talent. Talents are basically skills or opportunities. It can be taken for anything, and of course it's supposed to be a financial thing in the parable, but that master can be akin to God, basically. And he gave this person a certain amount of abilities, and that person did more with it. They went and doubled it. Basically, if you look at life, help people, be productive to society and yourself. That's what he did. The one with 2 did it 4. The one that had 1 talent, it doesn't make a difference how many you have. Whatever you're given, you're supposed to try to do your best. The one with 1 talent did nothing. He buried it. Didn't do anything. He was lazy. And what's the response? Get away from me, you lazy, worthless, slothful servant. Those are pretty strong words. Okay? Showing that laziness is not in any way, shape, or form condoned by Christ or Christianity. And to say that it is simply wrong. It's not. We don't hear that, though. That stuff bothers. Oh, you're judging people. Not judging. How many people? I know people. How many people do you know? I know them. They simply try hard not to work. They don't want to work. They can hunt, they can fish, they can do this, they can do that. They can do all kinds of things, but they can't work. Somehow they can't work. They haven't worked since the age of 30, some of them I know. I mean, come on. All right, I'm not judging them. That's between them and God. But you can, as a society, as a Christian person, you can call that out in society because it's affecting us in society. We have a bunch of people who are depending more on the government, wanting these dangerous socialist ideas. Because of this, they want to be taken care of. That is not what a Christian man is supposed to do per the gospel. Okay? Enabling laziness is not the same as helping the poor. There's a difference between the two. And you need to know the difference, especially today. It's not judgment. This is what Christ said in the parable. Okay? Paul said, these, I know you don't like to hear it. I'm sorry. That's the reality. We have to hear that. It's very, very apropos to today. But these people, you're judging. That's the first thing everybody says, oh, you're judging. Nobody's judging anybody. All I was saying in one of the posts is I refuse. I have never been, anybody who knows me knows I'm not a selfish person. If I have something to hand out to friends, I don't even ask for money back. I am not, anybody who knows me knows I'm not a selfish person. But at this point in my life, I'm much more prudent. I believe prudence is also very important. I'm not going to throw away money or waste time on people who don't want to do anything. There's a difference between the two. Okay? If you're trying, I don't care if you're the poorest of the poor. If you're trying, that's all that counts. If you're trying to do the best, but you're in a position where you have no choice, you get sick, somebody you know, loved ones, your kids get sick, whatever, and it's really strapped you, and you can't get your head above the water. Oh, of course there should be programs in place to assist you. Of course. And people, the goodness of their heart, if they have the ability, should help them. Of course, 100%. Nobody, I'm not saying that. But the ones who take advantage and don't want to do anything, it's a very different story. And that's what Paul is saying. Not if you can't work, if you don't want to work. And I know many, I'm sure you do too. Okay? All these welfare kings and queens, you're telling me everybody can't work? You're trying to tell me that? I don't think so. And that's what so I'm clarifying that. It's not a judgment, but Scripture is Scripture. Okay? You don't want to if you want to deal with only what's nice, like the Joel Osteen mentality, then you're only getting half of Scripture. Sometimes, everything has parameters. Forgiveness has parameters. Charity has parameters. How many times should you forgive? 70 times 7. Oh, it's endless. But forgiveness is not automatic. In order to have forgiveness, you have to do your part. You have to want to change and try. If you don't want to try to change, it's not there. Okay, the parable of the girl being stoned. Jesus forgave her, but he told her not to do it again. Parameters. He didn't just say, you're fine, go do what you want. No, stop doing it. He gave her something she has to do. Okay? She has a part to do. Same with charity. We should always have a charitable heart. But if there's some of these people that you give charity, they don't have any appreciation. They'll take your last dime. No matter what you do, it's never enough. You know people like that? I do. Years and years go by. You can give them money. You can do this. It's never enough because they don't want to try. They're so used to people going through their life, getting handouts from people. They're so used to that they have no desire to try. That's what I'm talking about. And that's a problem in today's society, growing problem. It's not a judgment. It's a reality of what's happening and it has to be addressed. You can't just address everything's nice and wonderful. Somewhere along the line, you have to accept reality. Just like a parent, sometimes you have to say no. No is not a bad thing. Okay? Sometimes it's not bad. Enabling somebody to do the wrong thing is not helping anybody. Anybody. So that's Rick here trying to clarify my post from a couple weeks ago that created both all kinds of pros and cons, but this saying I'm judgmental. That's not what I'm doing. Okay, it's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to clarify that. You can disagree if you want, but you're disagreeing with Scripture, not with me. I didn't make these. I'm not making anything up here. I'm telling you what Scripture says. What would Jesus do? Well, I'm telling you what he said. Okay? You can fabricate anything in your mind of what he would do, but I'm telling you what he said. I'm telling you what Paul said. I'm not paraphrasing it. I'm not making anything up here. This is what it is. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Rick here. Have a fine day. Wonderful day, and God bless.